Hey, what's up guys? It's Gutex. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, I made a video on the current status of Cross Counter as well as Excellent Adventures because so many people have been asking over the weeks, months about everything. So I thought it was just best to make a video and let you guys know exactly what the deal is. So here we go. It's about 38 minutes long. After that, if there's anybody still watching here on Twitch, then I'll take some questions and then we'll take it from there. So thank you for watching. What's up guys, it's Gutex. I thought that it would be good to kind of let you guys know that there is going to be a shift in the direction of cross counter at this point going forward. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, this is what it comes down to, okay? Cross counter started because there was a need and a want to produce high quality fighting game content. And over time, there have been instances that have happened that have basically gotten it to the point. Okay, let me start over. I'm tired of people asking for Excellent Adventures, and I'm tired of people saying that everything on this channel has gone to shit. So I'm offering you guys an ultimatum of such. I, at this point, will either continue with the Cross Counter channel, although the focus will not solely be on fighting games, or I don't know, this channel will only be for fighting game stuff, and if I feel like doing fighting game stuff on it, then I will. Otherwise, it's just going to have whatever it has on it. Or, I don't know, if you guys are up to it, if you guys can stand to see something else besides Excellent Adventures on this channel, then we will head in a different direction. I got the opportunity last weekend to go to VidCon down in Anaheim. Thanks to Fullscreen for hooking that up. And I got to talk with Tim Schmoyer, who is a YouTube expert, a YouTube and video content expert. And I got a chance to sit down with him and I had him take a look at the channel to see what could be improved. And basically what it came down to was not the technical parts of the channel that need to be improved, such as like tags and description and custom thumbnails and all this stuff. But it was basically like, well, what direction, the conversation that I had with him was basically, what direction do I want to take the channel at this point? Because what I told him was that I know what the audience wants, and I currently am just unable to deliver it. I know that you guys want to see Excellent Adventures. I would like nothing more than to give you guys some Excellent Adventures. I wish I could just fucking sit here all day and just play Street Fighter 4 with Mike and everything would be fine. You guys would be happy. There would be a level of happiness within me. I'm sure Mike would have a good time. But for a lot of reasons, that's just not going to happen right now. And so, and you know what, the catalyst of all this is that I cannot put videos on this channel without some of you guys being upset. There are some of you guys out there, bless your little YouTube hearts, that for whatever reason are fine with me putting out videos of whatever I want, whether or not it has anything to do with fighting games or not. There are also a lot of you out there that subscribe to this channel only to watch Gutex and Mike Ross play Street Fighter 4 online. And that's fine. I really appreciate the fact that you guys have taken the time, or that you guys took time out of your days, to sit and watch us play Street Fighter because we had a lot of fun doing it. The reality is, however, that the situation has changed. And so, last night I made a video, and it's a very silly video. It's a 2 minute video of me announcing this Anime Revolution after party that I'm doing with Jessica Negri next weekend. Right? It's very simple. I just bullshit for like 2 minutes and talk in a silly voice and put up pictures of Jessica that I had. Right? And instead of people saying, "Oh, hey, that's cool, Gutex," or I don't know, anything. Anything other than "Where's Excellent Adventures" would be fine. Tell me that that's awesome. Tell me that you think I'm awful as a DJ and that I should never do that again. Tell me that you think Jessica's whack and that Vampy Bit Me is way better. Tell me anything. Anything other than "Where's Excellent Adventures?" Because I need to move forward, and so I felt like you guys deserved an explanation. Because, well, some of you deserve an explanation, some of you can go fuck yourselves. But, I can appreciate the amount of time that you guys spent, watching the videos and stuff. And, thinking back on, bands that I liked or shows that I liked that somehow just stopped producing stuff that I was never really given an explanation for. I just thought today was the day because I can't think of anything less offensive. I mean, hey, I'm sorry guys. Like if I just sit here and make voices and talk about some party that I'm doing, I just don't expect like a bunch of people to just completely disregard that and be like, "Where's Excellent Adventures?" When I'm done, probably when I'm done talking about all this stuff, you guys will have a better idea of how everything got to be this way, why Excellent Adventures is currently not going on, and exactly what happened, not just with me and Mike, but with Cross Counter as a whole. Because to be 100% honest, like some of the stuff that has been on the Cross Counter channel lately, over the past several months or year or whatever, who knows how long it's been. I don't know. But I'm not. I wish that I could. I wish that I was still in the same position to produce the type of stuff that I was able to produce a year and a half, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But the reality is it's not like that. Part of it is because I don't have the same team in place. Part of it is because I don't have the same drive or passion for it that I used to. And I hope as I explain what happened that you guys will have a better understanding. I don't care one way or the other, like what you think about it or what you would have done or whatever. But this is how it went down, and this is why things are the way they are. And I feel like if I can just put all this stuff out there, then those of you guys that only care about Excellent Adventures and don't care about little old Gutex and any of the things that I like to do aside from fighting games can just unsubscribe now and go out back into the internets and just unsubscribe, and I just won't bother you anymore with any of the stuff that I'm doing. And for those of you that think that, hey, maybe stuff besides fighting games could be cool on this channel, then maybe me and the four of you out there, we can move forward together. Because this is the reality. Fighting games, when I started working on a professional level with fighting games, which was literally 5 years ago, part of it was because I loved it. Most of it was because I loved it. And the other part of it was because I thought that this would be an exciting journey and that I could make this big. 5 years later, it's bigger, and I feel like most of the work that I've done, I feel like I've done what I set out to do. I don't really see what there is left for me to do, and I'm the type of person that when I have to do things that are repetitive, I get bored and I fall apart, and I won't do them because it's boring, because I've done it. So after a long amount, after a long period of rambling, let's get started. Okay. This is a cease and desist sent to Cross Counter TV, aka me, on March 9th, 2012, which is almost a little under a year and a half ago. Dear Mr. Gutierrez, I am writing to you on behalf of Capcom USA, a video publisher and owner of all copyrights in and to the famous Street Fighter video game series, which includes such hit games such as Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Super Street Fighter 4. It has recently come to our attention that CrossCounter.tv has produced and is selling on its website located at CrossCounter.tv various downloadable videos which incorporate gameplay and other footage of Capcom Street Fighter games. Screenshots showing CrossCounter TV's products for sale are attached. Specifically, a number of CrossCounter TV products incorporate Capcom's video game in them, including the Canada Cup International 5v5 tournament featuring Super Street Fighter 4 gameplay, the CrossCounter Open, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 launch tournament featuring Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 gameplay. Capcom has not authorized the use of its copyrighted materials in your commercial products, and such use is in violation of Capcom's valuable intellectual property rights. As you may know, the unauthorized copying, distribution, and sales of products such as downloadable videos which incorporate Capcom's copyrighted material may constitute copyright infringement in violation of the Copyright Act, entitling Capcom to injunctive and monetary relief. While Capcom is prepared to take all action necessary to protect its legal rights, it would prefer to resolve this matter amicably. To that end, Capcom requests that CrossCounter TV immediately cease and desist from any further commercial use of its copyrighted material or of any of Capcom's trademarks, service marks, or other intellectual property. 2. Provide Capcom with an accounting of all sales made of product containing Capcom's copyrighted materials, including the gross sales of all products and the number of units sold. And 3. Refrain from any future commercial use of Capcom's intellectual property without prior written approval from Capcom. So basically it all started with this little letter from Capcom. Let's look at page 2. We look forward to your written assurances that you will comply with our requests. If you have any questions, please contact me at 650-350-6677 or laura.franco@capcom.com. This letter is without prejudice to any rights Capcom may have, each of which is expressly reserved. Sincerely, Laura Franco, Senior Corporate Counsel. And then there are screenshots from the store, which has the Tokido formula, Capcom, the Canada Cup 5-on-5, seasons, beatings, velocity, blah, 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 screenshots and screenshots and screenshots. Now, what does this mean? Oh, and I blacked out the top, which had the address. Now, what does this mean, guys? We were selling videos, training videos, such as the Cross Counter Guide to Ryu, Marvel 1.0 featuring Visant and Clockwork, and the Tokido formula, which was an Akuma training video, as well as our tournament videos, which included the Canada Cup 5-on-5 and the season's beatings velocity videos. Basically, Capcom decided to send us a cease and desist because we were selling these videos. We'd been doing so for over a year, and this was right around the time Street Fighter Cross Tekken came out. Right after Mike and I had, what was that fucking Street Fighter Cross Tekken, not Cross Assault, but there was like another show, like a Street Fighter Cross Tekken promo show that Andrea Renee hosted. Anyways, we had been on that show. We had Street Fighter Cross Tekken early builds at bar fights in late 2011. We were Mike and I were big proponents of Street Fighter Cross Tekken before it came out. And for those of you guys that were wondering, no, we were not paid for that. We were just doing that because it seemed like the best thing to do to help a game that could be huge because of its 2v2 potential. Newsflash, 2v2 in our minds was made for Gutex and Mike Ross to play against people online. We were like, this shit is going to be huge. We should do what we can to help push this game, because if this game succeeds in a 2v2 format, Gutex and Mike Ross will be at the top of it, right? And I don't necessarily mean the best, like the #1 team in the world, like laughing infiltration status, but at least we would get the most out of it because we were the only ones that had the infrastructure in place, aka a successful YouTube channel with lots of viewers, aka you guys, to produce all kinds of 2v2 content. That is why we pushed Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So, it was a shock and a surprise to us when we got this cease and desist, even though we had heard rumblings about it internally through the whispers that this was like an issue. And apparently, whatever, it doesn't even matter. The reason that I bring this up is because this was kind of when things started to change. As you can imagine, I don't know if you guys know, but at the time, a year and a half ago, the cross counter team was basically myself, Mike, Ian Cofino, Steve Huang, Jamal, and to an extent Combo Fiend, as well as Cross Counter Asia, which was Kevin, Z, and Cien. The reason that I bring this up is because this was definitely where things started to take a turn for the worse. As you guys can imagine, I was upset. I was upset that Capcom would be so short-sighted as to try to stop a team that had done nothing but promote Capcom games as well as the fighting game community. Yeah, we were selling the videos. Newsflash, this shit takes time, energy, and money to produce. Shocker, especially the Tokido formula, which I don't know if you guys, I never really talked about it, but that was apparently, according to Capcom, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was the Tokido formula, which ended up getting posted on Kotaku and I guess made it the rounds to Japan. And apparently Capcom Japan is like, what the fuck is this? These guys can't do this or whatever. And then they send us a cease and desist. That's the story that they told me, whatever. The point is, that in order to produce certain types of high quality content with good editing, translation, motion graphics, as well as the actual distribution, this stuff costs money. This is not a charity. I'm sorry if not everything is for the, I'm not a fucking martyr, right? Like I don't do this because because I think solely of the community. I don't. You know this. It's so many reasons. I was doing this because I wanted to help the community, build it up, get more players playing so that this could all be bigger for everybody, which, yeah, means more money for Gutex if I do my job properly. Unfortunately, Capcom did not agree that it was okay for us to be selling these videos. It was like Capcom would have rather these videos not exist than have those of us that put the work into doing it, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there are no good quality strategy products out there for learning how to play Street Fighter, aside from the stuff that Cross Counter itself was producing. There aren't any. You know why? Because nobody else had the resources or the technical know-how to be able to do it. Except for us. I was the only one that had a team that could do it, right? Think about the Tokido formula, right? How did we pull that off? We had the best Akuma player in the world at the time. I mean, okay, you could say Infiltration is better now, whatever. But at the time, there was no one better than Tokido. We had Fubarduck translate. Now, do you think for a second that Tokido and Fubarduck did that for free? Not even taking into consideration what it took to produce and translate and edit that sucker together and then distribute it. It would not exist. It would not have existed had we not put the money up front for it, right? Lapchi paid Tokido. Lapchi from Canada Cup paid Tokido, flew Tokido out to Canada Cup, tried to recoup the money by helping us, getting Tokido to do this product with us, and we sold it and whatnot. We paid Fubarduck. Cross Counter paid Ian Cofino to do the motion graphics, to do the editing, right? So yeah, of course we're going to charge for this. It would not have existed otherwise. That's just the reality of it. I don't know how I got on this tangent. Anyways, so after we got the cease and desist, there was a discussion internally between myself and the rest of the Cross Counter team. It doesn't even, who wanted to do what is not really important. I wanted to fight it because I want to be bullied, because I thought that you guys, the fighting game community, I thought that the Cross Counter audience, the fighting game community, as well as the gaming community at large, if they knew about this at the time, would have been like, hey, fuck you, Capcom, you can't do this. Let these guys do what they want because they're doing good for the community. I was confident in our position. The rest of the team was not. That caused a lot of conflict. Newsflash, hey, surprise, that shit caused problems for Cross Counter. I've never done this before. This is basically like, my first time having any real success in business stuff, whatever the fuck you want to call this. So it's not like I'd ever gotten a cease and desist from a big multi-million-dollar corporation before. Although, it wasn't completely unexpected, because I knew going into it that this may someday be a problem. But the reality was, I wanted to fight it. The rest of the team did not. And I felt like I was in I had my back to the wall, because basically, if I fought it, I felt like my team would basically abandon me, and then I wouldn't have anything left. And if I didn't fight it, then everything would kind of fall apart. Well, I fucked up because we didn't fight it, and everybody left anyways. As you could I mean, hey, Mike ended up it's not Mike's fault, right? I was going to say that Mike went to IPL, and then IPL went and got sold, whatever the fuck. That shit is not around anymore. It's not Mike's fault. It's my fault. Because ultimately, I was worried about losing my entire team, and my entire team is gone now anyways. Mike went to IPL. Ian went to go work for 2K Games. Steve went and got a real job. Jamal had to let go of. Peter is now working at Capcom. Cross Counter Asia, Kevin, Z, and Cien. Cien went off to go win Evo. Tough Cookie TV is doing their own thing. That's cool. But basically, the end result was the same. I was left, not I was left by myself, but I was the only one still here. I'm not, I'm taking responsibility because to not, it was my decision to not fight it even though I wanted to. But I was scared of fighting it because I didn't want to lose my team, but I ended up losing my team anyways. And it was not a fast process. You know what I mean? It wasn't like everybody just left all at once. It was a slow process, right? Like, I didn't realize until the wheels were already in motion, that Mike was going to be going to IPL, right? Like, you know, when I left the shows in what late last year or whatever on Cross Counter Live because I was like going to take a break from the FGC for a while, right? That was the direct result of this cease and desist, right? Because I didn't want to continue to make videos for about games of this company that didn't want me and my team to continue the work that we were doing, which was ultimately helping them move more units and make more money. Because it was a little frustrating, right? So I thought that I thought that if I took a step back and try to get things resolved, behind the scenes with Capcom, that maybe the shows could just continue, and that I could just come back later. So I was gone for a period of 2 or 3 months. We actually did end up getting the cease and desist resolved. Actually, the compromise. Oh, and what Capcom was saying was that because Brady and Prima had the license to produce strategy content, what we were doing created some sort of like legal position at which they could be liable, because Brady and Prima could be like, hey, Capcom, why you let these guys make these videos? We have the rights to do strategy content, even though these guys have never fucking produced a strategy video in their life because they are completely unable to, because they don't have the resources or the know-how to do it. Boom. There, I said that. Anyways, so, um, you know, Mike, Mike was Mike was left to host the shows himself, which was in hindsight a retarded decision, because what would have been a better decision is if Cross Counter just went on hiatus for a while instead of me leaving Mike to host the shows himself. That was not the smartest move on my part. That was not a smart move on my part. And for that, I'm sorry. And Mike, if I haven't told you that in person, I'm sorry for doing that to you. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to be on camera talking about these stupid fucking video games that used to bring me so much joy. But now, not now, but, you know, a lot, at the time was just bringing me headaches, because I always wanted to try to make something more of this. And, I felt like if I could get things resolved, then we could just go back to producing stuff as normal. But then after I came back, it just wasn't the same. I think Mike kind of had Mike had his own stuff going on with IPL and kind of had some built up anger towards me, which was totally deserved. Um, and so things just weren't the same after that, right? So Mike went to go do the IPL thing. I struggled to produce content myself. It was difficult because around the same time that Mike was leaving to go work for IPL, which ultimately never really got off the ground, anyways. Ian got a job opportunity in NorCal and then ended up moving up there. So basically, you know, like the two, two of the strongest assets on the cross counter team were no longer available. And yeah, we put out the Excellent Adventures Christmas special, which I think everybody enjoyed. People were kind enough to, pay a few bucks to download it, to which, everybody, it was well received, but, going forward now, it just didn't seem, I don't know. Like I don't really know why Mike doesn't want to do it anymore, but I do know that the reason the reason why it was fun and the reason why I think it was successful at the beginning was because we didn't try very hard. Like the way it started was that we would go work the day job, which was to shoot the original Cross Counter show for YouTube at the Machino Studios, in Hollywood, and then, dude, like we would shoot at Machinima, and then on the way back, I would shoot stupid videos of us sitting in traffic in the car, and then we'd get back to my place, and then we'd play, and then we'd record it, and then I would upload it because it was super easy to produce, and it was fun, like it was fun, but as time went on, that the vibe was just different. It's not to go from something. I don't know. Maybe we should have handled it different. I don't know. But the fact is that it was fun because we didn't have to put much into it. But if you have to force creativity and fun or whatever, it just becomes something else. And maybe that's what it was. So I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing or forgetting, but now, anyways, the point of telling you guys all of this is just because I'm at a crossroads right now with this channel, and those of you guys that subscribed only for Excellent Adventures, please, I don't know where the unsubscribe button is. I'm going to guess that it's up there. Please unsubscribe so that I don't have to bother you anymore. For everybody else that's down for, basically it comes down to this. After talking with Tim Schmoyer this weekend. Number one, sell the channel, which, believe me, if I could fucking sell this shit right now, I would do it. Number two, change the focus. Let's say from not just fighting games to fighting games, cosplay, music, because those are the kind of the areas that seem more interesting right now, because fighting games at this point just want to make me fucking facepalm. And just I think the third option would be he suggested that it was not advisable to get other personalities involved. Because such as people submitting content and then me featuring the content on the channel, because eventually what would happen is if they were successful, then they would go off and do their own thing anyways, which is basically what ended up happening with Mike and to an extent Peter, because hey, fuck it, that's just the way of things. So it's kind of like, why put the time into cultivating new talent when chances are if they get big enough they're just going to leave anyways. So at this point, I think the choices are continue. I mean, you know, a lot of the stuff, a lot of the content that we've put up recently over the past month has been stuff from Evo. But I put up one video of me making voices and talking about this party, and like everybody goes nuts. I'm reminded of that Joker meme. Anyways. I think I've rambled on for quite a long time. At least now you guys know what the status is, why Excellent Adventures is not coming back, or is on hiatus or whatever. But basically, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it got this far, and I'm sorry that I'm just sorry it went down like this. So let me know what you guys think, because this channel, like, I'm sorry, I'm just not in the same position and don't have the same drive because of everything that's happened, and the way that things are going right now in the fighting game community is just fucking retarded anyways. So hopefully you guys understand. Well, you don't have to understand, but at least now you have the option. So feel free to unsubscribe. Let me know. The rest of you guys, if you continue to stay subscribed at this point, I'm gonna assume that you're fine with like cosplay and music content. Otherwise, I'm just gonna move all this shit over to the Gootex channel and kind of just start fresh with that. I wish I had another. If only I had a better name for the music stuff or cosplay stuff, I would just probably do that. But I feel like, you know, 66,000 subscribers is like a pretty solid asset that I just don't want. I've spent so much time building, and I just don't want to let it go. But if, you know, 65,000 of you subscribed for Excellent Adventures, half of which, you know, is no longer here right now, then hey, fuck it. Like, I don't blame you guys for being upset. I just can't fucking put out another video. I just don't want to put out another video that has nothing to do with fighting games and you guys don't even see it. Or you guys could say, hey, that shit is not funny, Gootex. You are terrible. You make terrible voices. Your shit is not funny. That's fine. That's fine. I accept that. But, you know, it sucks to like put effort into something and like people are just like, they can't even see it or hear it because they're so fixated on work that you did before. And which sucks because the easiest shit we ever did was Excellent Adventures. And the hardest thing we ever did was the Tokido formula. Made the least money. We made next to nothing. I'm pretty positive we didn't break even on that. And that was what got us shut down. The hardest fucking thing, that was what got us shut down. It's not like we caked on that. And the easiest thing that we ever had going was Excellent Adventures, and we couldn't fucking keep that going. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. See you later. All right. Well, there we have it. Hope that was... There we go. So, anybody have any questions or whatever? I'm just reading. I mean, the channel, I don't know. I probably would just put stuff on the Gootex channel for a bit. Quick summary for those who came late. Sure. Uh, Cross Counter was chugging along up until about March 2012. Capcom sent us a cease and desist saying we couldn't sell our videos anymore. That caused a divide in the team, which then proceeded to kind of erode the content and the team that we had built to the point where I didn't have the resources or the heart to continue to produce the same stuff anymore. And that's kind of where we're at today, where I'm kind of burnt out on fighting games and kind of more interested in different directions such as music and cosplay. Would I look into content for other games like Skullgirls? It's hard for me to produce stuff for games that I'm not really into. I mean, I think Skullgirls and whatever, like, I'm sure all these games are cool, but, like, if I don't play it personally, then it's kind of hard for me to get behind. I'm not a cosplayer. I just enjoy it and think that I see a lot of parallels between the cosplay scene and the fighting game community because there's kind of a lot of similar factors, and they both have a lot of room for growth. Icy Enigma says, "Are you and Mike still cool at least?" Yeah, we're cool. I mean, I I actually woke up this morning, saw the comments on the YouTube video, on the video that I put up last night about the party, and then I messaged Mike and I was like, "Yo, I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm just gonna lay it all out there." He was like, "Whatever, do it." So yeah, we're still cool. I mean, dude, I love Mike. Like, Mike is my brother from another mother. You know what I mean? Like, we share the same brain. Is there gonna be more fairy godmother tycoon? Yes, I guess so. Maybe I can do more Third Strike stuff. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I haven't really been playing. What else is there really to do? You know, it's like it's important for me to keep things fresh. Will I still travel to FGC events? Yeah, whenever I can or will. I mean, dude, I had a great time at Evo and VXG. That was like a month. That was like 2 weeks and a month ago. Uh, Cause Counter. There we go. Maybe you guys just solved it for me. I'll just make a new channel called Cause Counter. People will be like, "What does that mean?" But it might work. Who knows? What's going to happen with Cien and Z? I don't know. From my understanding, they're going to start producing more content on their own channel. How about working on improving your DJ-ness, if that makes sense? Your debut was alright, but there could be lots of improvements. Yeah, I mean, hey, like, that was, dude, playing at the Anime Expo after party here in LA and then playing in St. Martin was a lot of fun. Obviously, it's kind of like when you first start, learning how to play a fighting game, right? Like, at the beginning, you're not that good. And so I understand that I'm not that good. So it's very interesting for me to kind of go in a different direction and try to do new things because I know that over time, with constant effort and tracking of my progress, that I will be able to improve because there's nowhere to go but up at this point. So, plus, I think that the gamer, nerd, anime geek whatever party crowd and market has a long way to go. Because I don't even really think it's a thing yet, but there's so many different conventions and parties, conventions, tournaments, and events like that that cater to this particular crowd, the nerd, gamer, geeky crowd, that don't have like after parties associated with them. So that's kind of like where I see some opportunity. Um, is there video of the St. Martin show? No, there's not. How about community management for Stonehearth? Dude, like, I don't even, what do I don't know. If somebody wants me to be community manager for their game, they can feel free to hit me up, but I don't think nobody wants me to do anything. It's not about retirement or like leaving. When I left, it was because I was fucking pissed about this cease and desist. And I just couldn't pretend to put on a happy face and make videos about these games from a company that didn't want us to continue to exist. Um, you know, part of the issue, and I've seen a few of you guys talking about how, you know, we were infringing on copyright, so of course we got busted or whatever. This is the issue that I had with the whole thing from the get-go, which was this. Yes, we were charging for the videos. Yes, we were making money and making a profit from the videos. What is the difference between making the money up front by charging people to download the videos and selling advertisements on the same sorts of videos through YouTube and through direct sponsorship? What is the difference? The only difference is that we were collecting the money up front instead of, let's say, making the money on the back end through advertising. I see no difference in the two. It's just that because in my mind, if we were to have to shut down, if we were not able to sell our videos anymore, then nobody should be able to run ads on their videos. That includes all streamers and all content producers. Nobody should be able to make any money from their videos. What's the difference between making the money on the videos through advertisements that are placed on YouTube or on stream graphics and selling the videos up front? It doesn't make any sense. Grizzly Video said, did you think to at least consult Ultra David? Yes, absolutely. I did go to Ultra David. Ultra David was 120% willing to go to bat for us, and for that I am forever eternally grateful to him, because I don't know if you guys know, but intellectual property and copyright stuff is Ultra David's specialty, and he was down. He was like, you know what, like, I think we have a case. Let's do it. And it was ultimately me that decided not to go forward. But I do appreciate his willing to help, and he was very helpful in this scenario. Why didn't you get it clear beforehand? So if you guys have ever tried to do anything like this, you would know that Capcom is not particularly easy to deal with in terms of licensing and marketing and stuff, right? Like, in a perfect world, it would work like this. There would be some sort of licensing system that they would have for tournament organizers and for content creators, where you could just pay a fee and have it just be upfront. Whether it was a percentage of your sales or, like, you know, money up front, whatever. But there isn't anything like that, and thus it seemed better to just do it like this, which is to, you know, just put out the work and do the content, because, newsflash, we didn't have any money. If Capcom wanted 30 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand to do this strategy content, do you think for a second that any of us had access to that kind of money that could pay that kind of fee up front? No, absolutely not. If we would have asked to do this, because, dude, trust me, like, Capcom knew about the videos that we were doing the entire time, but it was only an issue, apparently, according to them, when it got posted on Kotaku and Capcom Japan found out about it. So it's kind of like we were flying under the radar until the shit got too big or whatever. But I mean, and you know, just for the record, you know, we had a conversation with Christian Svensson finally after going through Twitch. Actually, it was Twitch. Well, one of the higher ups at Twitch actually kind of made an introduction and set up a call with Christian Svensson. And so it was one of the times that I went to New York, I think, for one of the MLG things. But we sat, me, Mike, and Ian sat on Skype and then talked on the phone with Christian Svensson. And that's how I guess we were able to come to this compromise where we were going to be able to continue to sell the tournament videos, but not the strategy videos, such as, you know, the Tokido Formula, the Cross Counter Guide to Ryu featuring Air, the Marvel 1.0 videos. We couldn't do those anymore, but we could still continue to do the event videos. And I mean, I guess that's why we were able to do the Excellent Adventures Holiday Special, because none of those, they didn't already have an existing license in place for that. Thus, it didn't put them in sort of like a legal risk sort of scenario for us to produce that content. So that's what happened. I heard that one of the reasons that you were ready to leave the FGC because you were high on stream and somebody called you out on it. Was that one of the reasons? No, absolutely not. I was I think it was final round last year. I was like up all night and then got on the stream in the early morning, and I don't know. I was just kind of loopy. Ski Sonic made some jokes that I was high. I was not high. It had nothing to do with Ski Sonic. It had nothing to do with that stream. It had nothing to do with complexity. It had everything to do with that cease and desist. So there you go. The cease and desist was not the reason for leaving Complex. I mean, it wasn't. It was more like, I'm fucking done with this shit, and Complexity was like, well, if you want to go, then go. But there was no sort of like bad blood or anything like that. Am I still working with GameSpot? Yeah, I mean, we did coverage at Evo. I mean, I'm like their fighting game guy right now, so we'll see. Why didn't I talk about the cease and desist before? If you guys missed it earlier, it's because when all this stuff went down, I wanted to fight it, was prepared to fight it, had Alter David who was down to help fight it. The rest of the team did not want to fight it. And then I chickened out because I was afraid of losing the team, which ultimately was lost anyways. That's why I didn't fight it. I thought we could just move forward. A year and a half later, people are still asking about Excellent Adventures. Woke up this morning and was like, I can't take this shit anymore. Why not keep building Cross Counter and make money on being a content strategy consultant, teaching companies how to build an audience like you did? You know, if you know anybody, let me know. I don't know. Maybe I need to make a post. Maybe I need to start looking around on Elance or something, because if there's one thing I know, it's about marketing through content. Do you have financial problems? Will you be accepting donations? Yo, if you want to send donations, feel free. Gutex at gutex.com. Who owns Cross Counter? I own Cross Counter. Uh, Patrick at Giant Bomb. I mean, I don't know. Like, this is this is where it's at. I mean, this is where we're at right now. I don't know. Wait, if you're good to do content but not strategy guides, why not do the content after speaking with Sven? We did. So after talking with Svensson, we put out. We did East Coast Throwdown last year, which was Fnatic versus Ray Ray. We did the Excellent Adventures Holiday Special, and there may have been one more in there that we did in between that time. So we did. But ultimately, it just wasn't the same. Why not fight it now? If you don't even have the team to defend anymore, then what's really stopping you? Nothing. I mean, dude, hey, just so, not that it matters, but I did hit up. I'm not. Look, if any top players out there, any top players out there want to make some money, want to make some money through strategy content, hit me up. You let me know. Are there any non-Capcom games you can do the content and guides you can sell, or just believe nothing else is popular enough to make money? No, actually, I think StarCraft, League of Legends, and Dota content would be great. I just don't have the. I'm not in that. I'm not in that niche. I can continue doing stuff on YouTube, but the YouTube stuff was always kind of like the foundation, not like the whole thing. Oh my god, you guys are funny. Um, do you plan on getting more staff members across counter, get more PC console players to commentate? The more staffs, the better. I don't know. I mean, that was something that I tried to do with like Tasty Steve and Genesis and Ringe. I mean, how that actually went or is going is kind of like on you guys. I mean, I think a lot of people were okay with it. Didn't really resonate with a lot of people. It's not like a surefire thing one way or the other. It's not like everybody is like these guys are amazing or everybody was like these guys are awful. It's kind of been like pretty in the middle. And I think a lot of that is just because, most of the brand was built on Gutex, Mike Ross, and Combo Fiend, and that was the entire reason for doing this in the first place, is just to kind of clear the air as to why all that stuff is not the way it was, not the way it was any longer, and to kind of see what the response will be on YouTube and see whether to try to take the channel in a different direction, not in a different direction, but to expand into different directions such as music and cosplay, or whether to just keep cross counter fighting games only and then move any other types of content to my own channel. Um, Cross Counter Live is probably on hiatus for a while. Thank you, Doug CL781. See, this is the thing about fighting game fans not caring for cosplay stuff is I just refuse to believe that a demographic of dudes, 18 to 35-year-olds, don't want to see hot girls dressed up as their favorite video game characters. It just does not make any sense to me. Are you guys like which part of that doesn't sound, I don't know. Which part of that doesn't sound like it appeals to the demographic? It just doesn't make any sense. I can totally. If you guys are like, yo, Gutex, like, I'm not really into the music thing, like, I get that. That's like taste. You know, I totally get that. But generally, the demographic. I mean, I'll show you guys the YouTube demographic. I would show you guys the YouTube demographic, except it's all dudes. It's all dudes in this demographic. Lego Feet says one of the things that's missing from electronic music is the down to earth attitude that you and Mike brought to Excellent Adventures. It literally felt like we were hanging in the room with you guys, and that was the major charm of the show. Do you see a possibility for a content channel that does what you did with Excellent Adventures with music production and DJing instead? Yeah, I mean, actually, I had a conversation with Offcast not too long ago about how to properly do like music content in the same to take what we know about producing gaming content and take that into, let's say, music, right? So Offcast was suggesting that I could record a set and then screen cap it and then go through and play it back with basically like commentary, which would be like, all right, well, I picked this song here, and then this is what I'm doing with this loop, and then we're gonna play like whatever, 8 bars, 16 bars, and we're gonna loop this, and then like kind of show how to do it. Of course, the problem is that I am like a small, uneducated 5-year-old when it comes to DJing, as opposed to Street Fighter, where I'm more like a 13-year-old, 13-year-old, junior high dropout. So, but I think the concept is solid, and I think maybe if I start doing it, then it'll be easier to find, let's say musical scholars to come in here and spend a little time teaching me some things. Maybe because bringing in Negri dilutes the content and makes it less FGC. Her commentary with you at VXG was cringeworthy, plenty of porn on the net. I want good commentary on FGC streams. Well, here, this is the issue with that. Not everybody is a fighting game expert like you, broski. There's a lot of people out there that watch fighting games from a very casual level, don't know everything there is to know about the game, because this is the thing. If all you guys out there were experts at fighting games, then you would probably be at the tournaments winning them. So the vast majority of people out there don't know everything about the game, and some of them are newcomers and beginners. So having somebody on the stream or as part of the videos asking good questions like a beginner would ask, in my opinion, is very helpful to the majority of the audience, which doesn't necessarily know everything there is to know about fighting games. No, it's not that she's going to explain it to them. It's that she's going to ask the right questions that somebody like me or another commentator can answer. It's very simple. But at the same time, I understand why that offends you, because on the internet, everybody gets offended. I actually have been thinking about just doing podcasts again, um, because video is just so much to do. Um, well, hey, look it. This is the reality, guys. You guys can feel free to have differing opinions on all this stuff. So you can sit at home on your keyboards and be upset, or you can be the change that you want to see. So if you don't want to see, beginner level commentary at events, then you can work towards building your own events and having only expert level commentary. How about that? All right. So have you ever considered getting into the porn industry every day? Where are the bar fights? The bar fight. What is there to answer? Like, dude, it's. I don't know. What is there to do? The concept was, the concept was working. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, that about wraps it up. Feel free to hit me on Twitter. Send me an email, gutex@crosscounter.tv. Thank you guys for watching. I actually feel a little bit better now that like I kind of told you guys what the deal was. So hopefully everybody now has a better understanding of it. Whether you agree or whether you disagree, that's okay. It doesn't really matter. But thank you for watching. Maybe we'll have some more videos later on. Maybe I'll go do some Fairy Godmother Tycoon. Maybe I'll play some Third Strike. Maybe I'll just start a new channel. All right, guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. See you later.